Good morning and Merry Christmas to you as we continue our 12 days of Christmas. Today is day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. Three French hens, or as the Christianized version of it goes, it's faith, hope, and love, the theological virtues of Scripture. I read an interesting article that someone really went on and on about the fact that there's no Christian tradition foundation for the fact that the 12 Days of Christmas was ever really used as a theological primer, as we've been looking at it here over the 12 Days of Christmas. But he went on to make his point with such veracity, as if almost to say that if you thought about it in those terms, that you were doing the song a great disservice. Well, whether there's theological foundation or historical foundation, I should say, for the 12 Days of Christmas ever being a theological primer for early Christians, I don't think really matters. If we can look at the numbers and assign something to them and gives us something to reflect on in this Christmas season, I say go for it. Today's coffee, by the way, it's a peppermint mocha, Christmas mocha. No cream in today's coffee. It's still black, so it's a decent coffee. Not very mocha-y or pepperminty for that matter, but it is very coffee-y. So, well, it's snowing this morning here in Arlington as we remember the Christmas season. And there's that verse in Scripture in Luke's Gospel where the shepherds hear the news about the birth of Jesus and they go with haste to Bethlehem to see this thing that has come to pass. Well, people today still go to Bethlehem, to the Church of the Nativity, to Nativity Square in Bethlehem to see and to be there and to celebrate Christmas at the site of Christmas. Now, of course, there's all kinds of tradition that says that the Church of the Nativity is built on the spot where Jesus was born. Okay. There's no doubt that Bethlehem was the city. That's where he was born. In fact, there's a big Lutheran church in Bethlehem, Bethlehem Lutheran Church. Good name for a church in Bethlehem. They still came not really sure what they were going to find, but they knew they needed to go. And so they went. And that's why still today, not only do people still go to Bethlehem, but they still go to the manger. Churches are full on Christmas Eve. People come and they want to hear. There's something both memorable and romantic and comforting and true in the story of a babe born in a manger in Bethlehem. And so they come and they see a God who has come down to earth to be with us. And then, of course, what did the shepherds do? They go out and they tell everyone what they had seen and heard. They share the news that they had heard. So here's my challenge to you on the third day of Christmas. Who have you shared with all the things you have seen and heard? As you gathered with your household of faith and your relatives at whatever church you gathered in on Christmas Eve, have you shared that story with someone? Have you told them about your Christmas Eve experience, about the service, the music, the readings, the sermon? What was there about that service that stuck out to you? Maybe it was a candlelight ending if they had one. What was it that you can share with someone else about what you have seen and heard? Maybe you can share it with someone who also has a story to share about their Christmas Eve and what it was like for them. Gives you something to talk about over a cup of Christmas coffee. gives us a way for us to continue the witness of Christmas. You know, we always hear about the C&E Christians, the Christmas and Easter Christians. And sometime I would love to end a Christmas or an Easter service with a slideshow or a PowerPoint presentation. In case you ever wonder what goes on around here in between times, here's what it is. I think that's the beauty of the Christian church, is that we celebrate Christmas and Easter really all year round. We worship on Sunday because of the resurrection. It was the day of his resurrection. So we continue to celebrate that. We continue to remember this one who came and walked among us. So go and tell. Go tell it on the mountain. I'm not sure there's any mountains in Arlington, but go tell it on the snowbanks. Go tell it at the coffee shop, the hardware store, wherever it is that you go, in your office, at your school. Tell them what you've witnessed, what you've seen. And maybe this Christmas, news will spread like it's always spread about the birth of Jesus, from person to person, one to one. That's how it's all about. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the fourth day of Christmas, a new coffee. Let's see, I can even give you a sneak peek to tomorrow's coffee. Candy cane coffee. Interesting title. We'll find out what that's all about. Tomorrow, we're going to have some suggestions and ideas of how you can get the gospel out. So join us tomorrow. Enjoy, if you're in Arlington area, the light snow falling. This is a beautiful, picturesque Christmas kind of snow that we've got going on here today. So be blessed, stay warm, enjoy your coffee, and spend some time telling someone of your Christmas Eve experience. We'd love to hear your stories. Go ahead and send them in to us, pastor@peacearlington.org. Be blessed. It's getting a little more pepperminty as we go along. Well, we'll see you tomorrow.